Good morning, children. This is Mrs. Anjum from Springfields School, Masabtank, biology teacher for class 10th. In my previous video, we have done the long questions, 4-mark questions of second lesson, respiration. Today, we will be learning the short answers. Kindly watch the video attentively. First question is, why do we feel pain after the vigorous exercises? We feel pain after the vigorous exercise due to the accumulation of lactic acid produced by anaerobic respiration. Next, what is the site of the cellular respiration? Where does the cellular respiration takes place? It takes place in the mitochondria. And where is energy stored in the cell? In mitochondria. What is the role of epiglottis in respiration? The epiglottis is a leaf-shaped flap of cartilage located behind the tongue at the top of the larynx or voice box. The main function of the epiglottis is to seal off the windpipe during eating so that the food is not accidentally inhaled. Next, what is the role of diaphragm in respiration? Diaphragm expands downwards into the abdomen, thus increasing the chest cavity. This allows the lungs to expand as we inhale. As the diaphragm contracts upwards, thus decreasing the chest cavity, it allows the air to expel from the lungs. Now, another question can be asked like, what will happen if there is no diaphragm? If there is no diaphragm, we won't be able to respire and ultimately the person may die. So, diaphragm plays a very important role in respiration. Next question is, write the passage, air pathway. Passage of air. So, air pathway. As I told you before, the air travels from the mouth, oral cavity, pharynx, or it can be through the nostrils into the nasal cavity. It starts from the nostrils. Air enters into the nasal cavity. Sometimes through mouth also, which leads into the pharynx. From pharynx, it goes to the trachea, windpipe. From there into the bronchi. And bronchi, the air enters into the bronchioles. And from there, finally, air reaches the alveoli, where the exchange of gases takes place by diffusion. I already explained to you this in my human respiratory system in my last video. Now, you will also learn about the events in the respiration. Respiration is an energy giving system. This flowchart can be asked in the exam. Sometimes they will miss the second one or the third one or fourth one and they will give you the rest. So you have to fill in the box. So you have to learn it by heart it. The respiration consists of two steps, inspiration and expiration, inhalation and exhalation. So let us see here in detail. First step is breathing, air movement into and out of the lungs. Second is gaseous exchange at lungs level, exchange of gases between alveoli and blood. Third is the gas transport by blood. That is, the oxygen is carried along with the capillaries. In the capillaries, the oxygen is received by the capillaries. So from there, the blood carries the oxygen to all parts of the body and brings the carbon dioxide from all parts of the body back to the alveoli. So the gaseous exchange at the tissue level takes place, and finally the cellular respiration takes place. So where does the cellular respiration takes place? In the body cells, in mitochondria, where the food is oxidized to give carbon dioxide, water and energy in the form of ATP. Define fermentation. Now, what is fermentation? Fermentation is the breakdown of the organic substance by organisms, microorganisms, to release the energy in the absence of oxygen. It is in the absence of oxygen, the organic substances are broken down in the absence of oxygen. For example, in the anaerobic breakdown of carbohydrates by yeast to produce alcohol and carbon dioxide, and the bacterial breakdown of milk, sugar to give lactic acid. What is the difference between the photosynthesis and the respiration? Yes, another important question. Photosynthesis occurs only in plants and some photosynthetic bacteria, whereas respiration occurs in all living organisms. Photosynthesis takes place in the presence of sunlight. Respiration takes place throughout the day. Photosynthesis occurs in the chloroplast and is independent of light. whereas aerobic respiration occurs in cytoplasm and mitochondria and is independent of light. See, photosynthesis is dependent on light, whereas respiration is independent of light. Raw materials are carbon dioxide and water in photosynthesis. Here, in respiration, carbohydrates or organic substances and oxygen are used. In this process, in photosynthesis, light energy is fixed in the form of chemical energy and stored in carbohydrates. Whereas in the respiration, in the process of chemical energy, in this process, chemical energy stored in the carbohydrates burns to release energy. Oxygen is liberated in this process of photosynthesis and carbon dioxide is used, whereas in respiration, oxygen is used and carbon dioxide is released. Now, the next question is, what is cellular respiration? As I already told you before, the term cellular respiration refers to the pathway by which the cells release energy from the chemical bonds of food. It takes place in the mitochondria. It can take place either by aerobic respiration or by anaerobic respiration. In the absence of oxygen, it is called anaerobic respiration. So it is taking place in mitochondria. So what is happening to the in mitochondria? The food that is we have eaten, carbohydrates, they are broken down. They are oxidized and the chemical bonds are broken down to give the carbon dioxide, water and energy by using the oxygen and releasing the carbon dioxide. You can see here this flow chart will help you. Our carbohydrate C6H12O6 by the process of glycolysis forms the two molecules of 3-carbon compound pyruvic acid. If the pyruvic acid uses the oxygen, it will be aerobic respiration, giving the end products as the carbon dioxide, water and 38 molecules of ATP. If it is in the absence of the oxygen, like in the bacteria and yeast, then the pyruvic acid will give the ethyl alcohol, carbon dioxide and 2 molecules of ATP. This flowchart is in the textbook. Kindly go through it. I hope you all understood the concept. I once again request you all to start learning the question answers and complete the lesson in 1 week. Next week, we will start with the lesson number 3. Till then, take care. Wish you all good luck for your preparations. Thank you very much for watching this video.